All right, it's character study, and this time it's a tough one. Forgiveness. And be you kind to one another, forgiving one another, as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you, writes the Apostle Paul to the Ephesian church. And in the end of the fourth chapter, it's there. So, forgiveness is having a patient, understanding attitude toward all people. Now, there's not a one of us, but what you have been lied to, lied about, done in, uh, not treated fairly. In other words, you can't live without people roughing you up along the way. And if you don't have a forgiving attitude, it's going to come back and bite you hard. A person of good character simply cannot have a hard, bitter, resentful, vengeance filled, unforgiving spirit. It will not work. And don't come around waiting for people to ask forgiveness of you. They will not do it. Have a forgiving spirit. Forgive people for what they've done against you, even when they do not request forgiveness. You're following Jesus when you do that. Matthew 23:34, he said to those who were crucifying him, Father, forgive them. They didn't ask for forgiveness. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. And there may be people who have harmed you, hurt you, uh, when they were supposed to be even helping you. And they didn't understand and they didn't know. Now, you can't expect to be forgiven by God unless you forgive others. That's right in the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So your forgiveness from God is dependent upon your forgiveness of others. Never be resentful. Never hold a grudge. If it creeps up, dispose of it right away. It will turn into bitterness, and bitterness will not hurt anybody else, but will destroy you. The writer to the Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 15, talks about a root of bitterness, and it will eat you up and destroy you. In 1 Corinthians, there was a man who fell into serious sin, chapter 5. Read it. They excluded him from the church, but then they were withholding forgiveness on him. And Paul had to rebuke the church at Corinth in the second letter, chapter 2, and say, he's had enough now. You got to relent, forgive him, receive him back. It was Mark Twain who said, forgiveness is the fragrance the violet sheds on the heel that crushed it. A person of good character is a forgiving person.